If there was a primary, which is how it's supposed to be, that's what a democracy, that a lot of Democrats claim they believe in a democracy. If there was a democracy, there would be a primary, and I'm willing to bet Kamala Harris, who chose Tim Walz as her VP, wouldn't come out as a primary ahead of Josh Shapiro. Let me say how weird this is. Everybody was hoping for her to pick Josh Shapiro as her VP. Democrats wanted Josh Shapiro. She chose to choose Tim Walz. Tim Walz has choked. Nice guy. I'm sure he's a good fellow. He has choked on a big stage. It was horrible in front of J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance's debate with Tim Walz proved that he's one of the leading candidates in 2028. J.D. Vance is going to be a leading candidate 2028 for presidential, him, Vivek, a bunch of other guys, but he's going to be there. Now, so one, I don't think she could have beaten Josh Shapiro, let alone choosing Tim Walz. And in Josh Shapiro's eyes, who I believe is the governor of Ohio, he's probably sitting there saying, seriously, you didn't pick me? Okay. You're not even at my level. If we ever debated, you would not be able to hang with me. That's how much more qualified Josh was. And I don't think she would have beaten Newsom. I don't think she would have beaten Whitmer. I don't think she would have beaten many people would have been way ahead of her. She is probably, and I wouldn't say probably, I'm 45 years old. For as long as I've been following the elections as presidential candidates, she is the most boring candidate America's ever had. I'm not playing all the other stuff. Well, she partied and Willie Brown this and she slept her way to the top and all these other things people want to say. I'm not even going to go there. Because at the end of the day, everybody's going to have a past when they run for office. You're going to find out what they're doing. Someone's going to be, he smoked weed, he did cocaine, he smoked cigarettes, he's a womanizer, she's this. Forget all that stuff. Nobody walks on water. She's boring. I've never watched anybody in interviews where I walk away bored out of my mind. The other day, the teleprompter freezes. She doesn't even know how to tell a story and say, earlier today while we were getting off the plane, I met this family named Mary. She doesn't know how to do that. She goes, 32 days, 32 days, 32. Tell a story. It's okay. She doesn't know how to do it. So she's boring. Obama thinks she can help her. And Obama no longer has the mojo when he really had. The other day, he's scolding black men. He's lecturing to black men of why they're not willing to vote for Kamala Harris because they think she's not ready to be a president. No one's attracted to that. You're trying to get me to do things through guilt. Parents can't win kids over through guilt. You know how mothers are kind of sometimes like, what happened to you? You used to love me. It doesn't work. That's just not effective. Kids don't want to constantly go around being guilt. It's a very low level of consciousness when you think about it that way. Now, let me give you the other side of it. 2011, I'm on a flight from Burbank to Vegas. I sit in my seat. To my right is Bill O'Reilly. I'm like, oh, Bill, how you doing? How you doing? So, Bill, let me ask you a question. Yeah. What happened with Romney losing to Obama in the 2011-2012 election? He says, well, we called both of them saying you guys both need to be on our show because you haven't won. And they said the same thing to both people. He said the Romney camp said, no, we're good. We don't need to come on. We're fine. They never call me back. Obama camp called me back. And he says, Bill, you're wrong. He says, what do you mean? He says, Romney won the second debate against Obama on Benghazi. He didn't have an answer. He said, but on the last debate, Romney's campaign manager and marketing people told him that you're bad with women, so they don't like it when you're too tough on Obama. Don't go that strong. Romney had a layup to win the third debate, and he was weak. He didn't come on strong. If he would have done that, that's what we were worried about. He never brought up Benghazi in the third debate. Because of that, Obama's going to win. It's over. Bill O'Reilly said, no, you're wrong. And that he said, no, it's over. Obama's winning. Obama won, right? You asked the question why Kamala Harris has agreed to do Bret Baier on Fox News. Because they know they're way behind. They know their candidate is not attractive. They know on the battlegrounds, every one of them could go to Trump. They know Pennsylvania with fracking, they're not going to be comfortable with Kamala Harris. They know Trump is performing with the black vote better than ever before. They know Trump is performing with family folks who have kids better than the other candidates. All of these things favor him. And Kamala, unfortunately, whether you bring up Obama, whether you bring up anybody, you cannot get a more boring candidate that Democrats could come up with than Kamala Harris.